All right, so let's jump into this AI stuff in the legal world. It's getting pretty wild. It seems like AI is becoming more than just a tool. It's actually starting to think like a lawyer. And Thomson Reuters, the company behind CoCounsel, that legal assistant platform, well, they're making some serious waves by integrating some really powerful AI.
Yeah, and what's really interesting is they're not just like throwing any AI at the problem. They're
Yeah.
being super strategic about it, picking and choosing models from different companies like OpenAI, Google, and even Anthropic, basing their choices on what each AI model does best. It's like they're putting together a dream team, an all-star team of AI for all these different legal tasks.
Okay, so no one-size-fits-all approach, huh? I like that. So who are some of these AI all-stars they're bringing in?
Well, the one that's really turning heads is OpenAI's O1 Mini. It's been custom trained on just mountains and mountains of legal data, and it can analyze documents with this crazy level of detail and reasoning. It's actually even surpassing GPT-4.
Yeah, I read about that. It was some test where they had to identify privileged emails, and O1 Mini actually beat out GPT-4, which is pretty insane considering GPT-4 is already considered like the cutting edge.
Exactly. And what's fascinating was that O1 Mini isn't just faster, it's designed from the ground up to really understand the nuances of legal language and reasoning. It's like having an AI that actually went to law school.
Okay, so this is more than just hype. We're talking about real results. What kind of impact is Thomson Reuters seeing with this approach?
Well, they're reporting a 1,400% increase in CoCounsel users in just the past year alone. That kind of speaks for itself. Lawyers are finding this tech seriously valuable.
Wow, 1,400%. That's a huge jump. So what kinds of tasks are lawyers actually using CoCounsel for?
Oh, it's transforming all sorts of workflows. Things like document review, which used to take forever. Now AI can flag potential issues way faster and more accurately. So lawyers can focus on the strategy and the more complex legal stuff.
Makes sense. Freeing up lawyers to focus on the things that actually require, like, human judgment and expertise. It's like having an AI assistant to handle all the grunt work.
Exactly. And it goes even further than just using AI. Thomson Reuters actually acquired this company called SafeSign Technologies. They specialize in building legal-focused language models.
So they're not just relying on other companies, they're building their own AI expertise in-house.
Exactly. It gives them more control over things like data security, which is
Hmm.
super important in the legal world. And it allows them to really tailor those AI models specifically for legal tasks.
That's a smart move.
Yeah.
It seems like Thomson Reuters is really at the forefront of this whole shift towards specialized AI.
They are. And this idea of using the right AI model for the right job, it's not just limited to law. We're seeing it pop up all over different industries. It's a real game changer.
Okay, so instead of one-size-fits-all AI, companies are basically assembling their own dream teams of specialized models. It's like the Avengers, but for data analysis and legal research.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And it makes you wonder, what other fields could benefit from this hyper-specialized AI approach?
That's a great question. Something for our listeners to think about. It feels like we've only just scratched the surface
Yeah.
of what's happening with legal AI and Thomson Reuters strategy.
Yeah, there's a lot more to unpack, especially when it comes to those other AI models Thomson Reuters is using, like Google's Gemini and Anthropic's Claude. Each one brings some unique capabilities to the table.
All right, well, sounds like we have a lot more to dive into. We'll be back soon to explore those other AI all-stars and what they mean for the future of law.
Welcome back. So we were talking about how Thomson Reuters is carefully selecting all these different AI models for specific tasks. It's like they're building their own little legal AI dream team.
Right, and we really got into how OpenAI's O1 Mini is making waves. With its ability to analyze legal documents with crazy accuracy and nuance.
Yeah, O1 Mini is definitely a star player, but it's only one part of the strategy. Thomson Reuters also realized they needed an AI that could handle the massive scale of legal documents, like those cases with mountains of contracts, emails, all that stuff. And that's where Google's Gemini comes in.
Okay, so Gemini is the heavy hitter, the one that can deal with huge amounts of information.
Exactly. Think about those cases involving tons and tons of documents. Gemini is built to analyze all that long-form content. It's perfect for things like due diligence and large-scale document review.
That's a game changer for lawyers who used to spend hours and hours just poring over those documents manually.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Gemini can help identify key clauses, potential risks, even inconsistencies, way faster and more accurately than a human ever could. It's like having a superpowered legal assistant that never gets tired.
Okay, so we've got Owen Mini, the detail-oriented expert,
Yeah.
and Gemini, the big picture powerhouse. What about Anthropic's Claude? Where does that fit in?
Claude is interesting. It's designed for those super specialized and sensitive areas of law, particularly tax and compliance, fields where even a tiny error can have huge consequences.
Yeah, it makes sense that they'd want an AI specifically for that kind of stuff. What makes Claude so well suited for those tasks?
While Anthropic has focused on making Claude highly customizable and incredibly accurate when it comes to dealing with complex regulations and financial data, it can help lawyers navigate all the ins and outs of tax law, make sure they're complying with all the constantly changing regulations, and even generate reports with incredible precision.
So it's like, well, O1 Mini is catching those subtle errors in legal briefs, and Gemini is sifting through mountains of documents. Claude's making sure everything is squared away on the tax and compliance front.
Exactly. And the really impressive part is how seamlessly Thomson Reuters has integrated all three of these AI models into their CoCounsel platform.
Oh, so lawyers can access all these different AI capabilities all in one place.
Yep, that's right. They can use O1 Mini to analyze a contract, then switch over to Gemini to review a ton of emails, and then finish up by using Claude to generate a compliance report. It's like a Swiss Army knife of legal AI tools.
That sounds incredibly efficient.
Mm.
But how are lawyers actually reacting to all these AI tools? Is there any pushback or hesitation?
Well, there's always going to be some resistance to change, especially in a field like law that's so steeped in tradition. But the reality is, lawyers are seeing the benefits firsthand. The time savings, the accuracy, the ability to focus on higher level work. It's hard to argue with those results.
Plus that 1,400% increase in CoCounsel users. That definitely suggests lawyers are finding real value in this tech.
Absolutely. And it's not just individual lawyers either. Law firms and corporate legal departments, they're all starting to realize that AI can give them a serious competitive edge.
So it's about being more efficient, more accurate, and ultimately more successful.
Exactly. And that's why Thomson Reuters' AI strategy is so significant. They're not just developing some cool new tech. They're fundamentally changing the way legal work gets done.
It's like they're ushering in a whole new era of legal practice, one where AI is an indispensable partner, not just a helpful tool.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. It's going to be fascinating to see how this evolution continues to unfold.
I'm curious about the long-term implications of all this shift towards AI-powered legal practice. What kind of changes do you see happening down the road?
Well, for one thing, I think we're going to see a much greater emphasis on legal tech skills. Lawyers who know how to use AI effectively are going to be in high demand.
Almost like a new legal specialty is emerging, one that blends traditional legal knowledge with AI expertise.
Exactly. And I also think AI is going to play a much bigger role in areas like, actively, legal research, contract analysis, even predicting case outcomes.
So it's not just about efficiency. It's about using AI to gain deeper insights and make more strategic decisions.
You got it. And that's where things get really interesting. Imagine a future where AI can help lawyers identify the strongest arguments, predict the likelihood of success in court, even negotiate better settlements.
It sounds like AI has the potential to transform not just the practice of law, but the entire legal system.
I think it does. And Thomson Reuters is definitely leading the charge, showing everyone what's possible when you combine cutting-edge AI with a deep understanding of the legal profession.
Okay, so we've covered the AI Dream Team, O1 Mini for the intricate details, Gemini for handling massive amounts of data, and Claude for navigating that complex world of tax and compliance. It's clear Thomson Reuters is making some bold moves in the legal AI space. But what about the bigger picture?
That's a great segue. And it brings us to a really important point, the broader implications of AI in law.
Yeah.
And all the ethical considerations that come with it.
Right. So we've talked about the potential benefits, the efficiency gains, the strategic advantages. But what about the potential downsides? What are some of the things we need to be thinking about as AI becomes more and more integrated into the legal system?
Well, that's a conversation for our next deep dive. We'll explore some of the potential challenges, the ethical dilemmas, and what the future might hold as AI continues to reshape the legal landscape.
Okay, so we've spent a good chunk of time talking about how Thomson Reuters is using all this AI to revolutionize the legal world. We talked about OpenAI's O1 Mini with its laser focus on accuracy, and Google's Gemini, that powerhouse that can handle mountains of legal documents. And then there's Anthropic's Claude, the expert in all those specialized areas like tax and compliance. It's clear they're building a seriously powerful set of tools.
Yeah, it really is an exciting time to see how tech is changing the way lawyers work. But it'd be kind of irresponsible of us to talk about all these advancements without acknowledging the bigger picture, like the potential impact of all this on the legal profession itself and all the ethical considerations that come along with it.
That's a great point. It's easy to get caught up in the wow factor of AI, but we really do need to be having those tough conversations about the implications.
Hmm.
So what are some of the key questions we should be asking ourselves as AI becomes more and more ingrained in the legal system?
Well, one that comes up a lot is the impact on legal jobs. There's this fear that lawyers are just going to be replaced by robots, but I think that's a bit of an oversimplification.
Yeah, I've heard that concern too, but like we were saying, a lot of the tasks that are being automated are those really repetitive, time-consuming things, the stuff that lawyers often find super draining.
Exactly. AI isn't necessarily replacing lawyers. It's more about changing the nature of legal work, freeing them up to focus on those more strategic tasks, the ones that require human judgment, creativity, and that personal touch with clients.
So it's not lawyers versus robots. It's more like lawyers and robots working together, each one playing to their strengths.
That's a much better way to look at it. And it highlights how important it is to adapt to this new landscape. Law schools, the entire legal profession, really, they need to start focusing on developing the skills that are going to be in demand in this AI-powered future.
Right. It's not about resisting change. It's about understanding how to use these new tools effectively and ethically. What other changes do you see happening down the line as a result of this whole AI evolution in law?
Hmm. I think we're going to see a much bigger emphasis on data privacy and security. Legal work involves handling some incredibly sensitive information. So as these AI systems become more integrated, making sure that data is protected is going to be absolutely
This
critical.
is not just about building powerful AI. It's about building responsible AI,
Yeah.
systems that are secure, transparent, and accountable.
Exactly. And that's where collaboration is so important. We need lawyers, tech experts,
Hmm.
ethicists, policymakers, everyone working together to figure out the guidelines and regulations to make sure AI is being used responsibly in this field.
It's about making sure that these tools are used to promote justice and fairness, not to undermine them.
Precisely. And we also can't forget about access to justice. AI has the potential to make legal services much more affordable and accessible to a much wider range of people.
Yeah, that's something we talked about before. AI-powered tools could help people who can't afford a lawyer to navigate simple legal issues or find the information they need.
Exactly. But we do need to be careful about creating a digital divide, where these tools are only available to those who have the resources and the tech savvy to use them.
So it's about making sure the benefits of AI in law are shared equitably and that we don't accidentally create new barriers to access.
Absolutely. These are complex issues. There are no easy answers. But the fact that we're having these conversations is a good sign. It means we're taking the ethical side of AI seriously and thinking critically about how to shape its future so it benefits everyone.
It's been a really fascinating journey exploring all this, the potential of AI to totally revolutionize the legal profession. From those specific ways Thomson Reuters is using AI in co-counsel, to these broader ethical questions that we all need to be thinking about, it's clear that we're just at the beginning of what's going to be a pretty transformative journey.
Yeah, and it's a journey that requires us to be careful, thoughtful, and to keep the conversation going. The decisions we make today are going to shape the future of law for a long time to come.
A huge thank you to our expert for walking us through all of this. It's been insightful, challenging, and definitely inspiring. And to our listeners, we hope this has sparked your curiosity and encouraged you to think critically about the role of AI in our world. Stay tuned for more deep dives into these fascinating intersections of tech and society. Until next time, Ibarra.